You're listening to World of Empowerment Radio, your station for practical spirituality in a changing world. And here are your hosts, Aingeal Rose and Ahonu.
You are very welcome. I am Ahonu, and this is my lovely Aingeal Rose. And today is Aingeal Rose's birthday on 11/11/22. These numbers have always been very significant for us. Of course, you've heard us saying over the years how the 11/11s are important for us, that I was born in 2/11 and in house number 22, and all the 22s that have mattered throughout Aingeal Rose's life and my life. But here we are with the 22s in Sedona. And for our birthday, our daughter Janae bought us a trolley trip around Sedona, and that was absolutely marvelous. Tell us your experience, Aingeal Rose.
Yes, it was a little trolley tour that went through Boynton Canyon, which is one of the major vortexes here where they've actually measured the energy coming off that area. And it was just a small group in the trolley, and it was a beautiful, sunny, cool day. I say cool, what I mean, in the 50s. And our guy was wonderful. And so he was telling us some of the things about the area, which are pretty amazing when you look at all these red rocks and these towers. I mean, towers upon towers of red rocks. Formations, animals in the rocks. One cliff called Snoopy Head, wasn't it?
Snoopy Dog and Elephant Rock, and all the rocks, they form these shapes, and it's interesting that they even have names for them depending on which direction you're coming in, because when you look at them in one direction you see a particular shape, but when you're coming back the opposite way it's a completely different shape, and they have names for them all, which is really interesting.
Right, but the whole point, I think, of what I was observing today was how different a place can make you feel. Like, we'll be in our little apartment most of the day, and we'll go out, and behind our apartment building, just off the road, is the back of Cathedral Rock. And this particular vortex is just a magnificent, in fact, they're all magnificent, but this is just a magnificent, big rock formation. And as soon as you walk out and you turn the corner, you'll see this Cathedral Rock. And immediately when you look at the rocks around Sedona, you're just uplifted automatically. I mean, the energy is just transports you to another place. So in our area, we've got Cathedral Rock. We're very close to Bell Rock. In fact, our street is off Bell Rock Boulevard. And as you go through the city, Sedona is just surrounded like a bowl. It's almost as if Sedona is encapsulated inside this beautiful bowl of wonderful, magnificent red rocks. And every time I look at it, I say to Hanum, this is a kingdom. You look at these formations and they just feel like kingdoms in and of themselves. And I was surprised that our guy told us that the Native Americans never really lived here. And Sedona's fairly new. Didn't he say it was like 120 years old?
Yeah, I think it was 1902 or something it was found, yeah.
But the formations themselves are, they're actually created, all of Sedona was underwater, he said, 2 or 3 different times in its history. And actually, going back 333 million years ago, this whole area was under the ocean. And they know that because they found seashells in the rocks. And in fact, there's areas of limestone where he said people hike up there and they come back carrying these large shells out of the soil. So out
of the rock, you mean?
Out of the rock, out of the limestone cliffs.
Now, it's interesting you should say that, because Aingeal Rose mentioned something to me today, because it sounds like we might be doing a tourist commercial of some kind, but that's not the case at all, because knowing us, we like to find what are the energetic imprints, or what is spiritually going on. So in that way, Aingeal Rose raised the possibility that maybe the vortexes of Sedona have something to do with the ocean energy, or perhaps salt water, or what was the other thing you said? that
Well, I was just mentioning how the water in our bodies is salt water.
Yes, and that's probably why people find such an attraction to the area, and perhaps they feel it more here than most other places.
And certainly in this time period too. I mean, Sedona has become an incredibly popular place because even while we're out today, I mean, it's Friday, of course, people aren't working today.
Yeah, being Veterans Day, though.
Yeah, and it's Veterans Day, so of course most of these places were heavily populated today, and cars on either side of the road, and in all these vortex areas, which is just normal now for Sedona, especially on the weekends. Mm-hmm. But in the past few years, when it's been getting increasingly more popular, it makes me wonder, with the time period that we're in, also, Ahonu, are people being called to this area? We certainly felt we were called to this area. And you're just wondering, like, what's the supportive energy that we're given to it and it's given to us,
right,
to help us through this time period.
Yeah.
But I think I wanted to make the point on how different a place can make you feel, okay, and how just the natural chi energy of rocks and nature can just uplift you and actually transport you to another place. Mm-hmm. Because even our tour guide today was talking about Boynton Canyon. Now, we didn't get out and hike this area because it's way, way up. It's very high. And people do. I mean, they go up the rocks. They climb this one pinnacle called Kachina Rock that looks like a female Kachina. And supposedly the story of it was that God was going to destroy the earth because mankind was being bollockses, which of course they are now. And basically the Kachina made a deal with the Creator and said, please don't destroy them. Yeah, give them another chance. And so Creator said, okay, I will, but if they pull this again, which of course we are now, and I feel I'm going to destroy the earth when if this pinnacle falls, this pinnacle that looks like the Kachina, if it falls, you'll know that humanity is done for and they're going to a very dark place. So there's these Indian myths about it, but the whole place is just riddled with incredible formations and beauty beyond belief. I mean, it's just the most gorgeous thing. Yeah. So you're just like moved and transported, and so of course the day, even though the trolley ride was simple in its simple, it just went down a dirt road and ended up at Boynton Canyon and let us get out in the parking lot and just.
But it was interesting to notice that we were picked up from the pickup spot at 11:11. Just throw that in for fun.
Yeah. He's overkill with this stuff. Okay.
But we are very grateful to Janae for getting us that trolley ride, because it is an experience and it is something that we would recommend to people. If you are visiting Sedona, first thing, come visit us, and second, take a trolley ride. So,
well, yeah, because that was my birthday present today for my daughter, and she always comes up with these creative things. But I just had, and I want to just mention too about birthdays. I always find birthdays very interesting in terms of the energy around the day and what happens during the day. Some birthdays, as you may well know, are wonderful and some are bummers,
Right, yes.
And so I was telling Ahonu last year on my birthday, I got no birthday wishes except for my children. But usually, on Facebook, it's loaded with happy birthdays. I got none. And I thought that was like everybody forgot about me. So I truly didn't expect any this year. But this year, the birthday wishes were different. And how they were different was I actually got emails from people, saying happy birthday and chatting a little bit. And of course, my family called. And the day here was beautiful and sunny in its 50s. So the whole day was it was one of those blissful birthdays where you just, and plus I'm in my last age in my 60s. Next year I turn a corner, and so I was very conscious. Ahonu thinks it's funny because he's younger than me, but I was watching how my mind was going toward, holy cow, how old am I? And But the feeling about it felt very different. This felt like some sort of a turning point energetically for me. And so we went and we celebrated. We had a wonderful Mexican lunch here with a margarita, which I let Ahonu drink most of. And of course, now he's got a hangover and a headache.
For somebody who doesn't drink it.
Yeah, he doesn't drink anymore, the poor Irishman, since he's been with me.
But the important thing is, though, that the reason we're here is because we followed our intuition and guidance and circumstances that allowed it all to happen. And it happened effortlessly.
Yeah.
And in that way, I think that's part also, if you have a calling like that, to be in a place or to move, or a drawing of some kind that's pulling you, pay attention to it, because certainly we're very grateful that we followed that calling, and that we watched and saw the little coincidences and the synchronicities that happened to make it all fall into place. So if that's happening to you, we say, encourage it and follow that guidance.
And anybody who hasn't visited Sedona yet, you should put it on your bucket list, because it is just a place of incredible beauty and energy. And so now, for the rest of the day, we're going to eat cake and drink coffee and watch the series Manifest, which we're addicted to, and zone out for the rest of the day. So enjoy your weekend.
And have a happy birthday, Aingeal Rose. And to all our listeners and viewers and followers, thank you for helping us and supporting us all through the years. We feel blessed in knowing you. So until next time, take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You have been listening to Aingeal Rose and Ahonu on World of Empowerment Radio, your station for practical spirituality in a changing world.